Welcome everybody to rvmax.us. My name is Mayan Shah, and today we've got yet another beautiful Class A motor coach. Here at RV Max, this is what we like to sell for the most part. Class A diesel motor coaches, preferably the ones that we could see ourselves going out and camping in. And this is definitely one of them. This is a 2016 Newmar Dutch 4369. The same floor plan, are very similar to the ones that Izzy and MJ just bought from us at Endless RVing. This coach is the 16 model, so it gets a number of updates from Newmar. Now let's walk through this coach, check out the overview, go through the interior. We're gonna check out the outside compartments and then finally take it on a test drive. So up front, this coach does have a larger generator than the shorter Dutch Stars. This has a 10,000 watt Onan quiet diesel generator that is on a generator slide tray. Now the coach has been serviced, freshly serviced, front to back by some reputable service companies, and the owner was quite particular when going through this coach. That being said, it's not perfect. 2016, it's nearly 10 years old. Now this generator has about 1,380 hours and there's about 26,000 miles on the odometer. Now this coach does have Toyo tires all the way around, and they are the Toyo M144s. We've got 37 of 24 date codes, and these were installed brand new less than, I think, 2 months ago. So these are practically brand new tires all around the coach. Now this does have a nice Summit chrome package on all the cargo bays, and there's also the optional chrome cargo bay handle set, which looks really good on the coach, especially with the Summit chrome. Now all of these compartments are lockable, push button. There's flush windows, and the paint job is really nice. It's like a caramel mocha looking paint job. Now this right here is where you can store your Stinky Slinky. This axle right here in 2016 is the passive steer axle, and these are really fantastic. In fact, this alone is a reason that a lot of people upgrade to these newer Dutch Stars. You also get an upgraded front axle. It's a little more heavy duty than the previous generation Dutch Star, and the chassis frame also receives a Star design upgrade. This increases the rigidity of the chassis from the previous models, and it's quite nice. It's similar in a way, conceptually, I think, as the Integras with their X-Bridge. So basically, anytime you hear extra framing being added to the coach, especially to the chassis, that makes me very happy. Now right here, we do have an egress door, which is another big plus on this model, as well as the cathedral ceiling in the main rear suite. This is going to raise the ceiling on your master bath here, where you don't lose that height that you normally do in most coaches and the previous generation. There's another big upgrade. There's so many. But before we get to that, I guess I'll save that for later because we'll see it on the interior. But right back here, we do have an 8.9 liter 450 Cummins, side radiated, with a nice solid metal reservoir for the coolant expansion tank. Now this does have a 15,000 pound tow capacity. There's an air chuck set up down here. And then we've got a chrome tip for our exhaust pipe. I believe this coach is set up for Air Force One. And I love the styling of these Dutch Stars. We do have two Girard Vegas on this side of the coach. So they're gonna come out and arch over, which makes them a little more resilient to wind and maybe gives you a little more shade too because they're angled downwards. That's an excellent feature. You've also got LED underlights out here on the awnings. You've got those Newmar security lights on both sides of the coach. So you've got a greatly lit patio space. And now it's worth noting this does have an Oasis hydronic heating system. This gives you continuous hot water at the right pressure and also lets you have furnace heating hot water just off your electric elements. Now it does have a nice outside entertainment package, which we're gonna see when we tour through the compartments. We've got an outside television up in the slide out. We've got a nice refrigerator. And by the way, the tanks are dual fillable, the fuel tank anyways. It's a 150 gallon diesel fuel tank and is fillable from both sides of the coach. And while we're talking about the tanks, it's worth noting the capacity. So we've got 150 gallons of diesel fuel. We've got 65 gallons of gray, 45 of black, and about 100 of fresh water on board this coach. Now let's go ahead and check out what our 2016 Newmar Dutch Star 4369 looks like with the slides completely closed up and in travel mode. And I'm never prepared when we transition to these interior slides closed videos. The lights are all off. We've got our microphones and stuff right up here in the front seat. But this is just a practical demonstration here to show you all what this coach is like with the slides closed. Wall lights, turn all the lights on. So here's my kitchen space. This is where you're going to be cooking using the microwave, the sink, and then right back here, we've got our refrigerator. And then we've got our half bath. So this half bath has that nifty swivel door, which is what allows us to easily get in and out of here, even with this big slide out in. And of course, to get to the main rear bath, you'd have to climb over the bed. Now let's go ahead and open up these slides. This interior has wonderful upholstery that's been redone and it looks fantastic. We even have a little bit of two-tone going on with these two chocolate recliners with this upgraded little centerpiece here. I absolutely love this. We also have these beautiful sconces that come from the factory. Now we've got this beautiful cabinetry throughout the bus. We've got these beautiful cabinet pieces that go over all of our air conditioning intakes and outputs, quieting them down and also giving you easy access to the filters as they just drop down. Now over here, we do have a hide-a-bed that turns into this couch that does have some bounds. Now the cabinetry is this kind of warm maple color. It's a classic color. Again, kind of a timeless selection. You can't go wrong with some kind of natural looking wood, right? We also have electric shades, which was an optional feature on this motor coach. It's got an MCD remote control right over here. It's got a mounting point. There's also a televator right behind me that's built into the Corian. We also have this beautiful porcelain floor, which is polished to shine. There's also tile on the full wall slide out because this is a flush tile slide and is one of the major updates that you get in 2016. And these chairs are electric and they actually stay snug on the wall here. So you can keep them out of the way pretty well with the slides closed, and then you can still recline them in the same position that they were sitting in a pretty comfortable way. To the right of me, we've got our dinette. This dinette has storage drawers on the bottom. It does extend with a leaf. We've got vent out windows here, big window, recessed lights up here. Now across from the dinette, we have our galley. We've got an extension right here. So you just pull this little release. It's a pretty good size and it helps you out, especially when you're cooking on your true induction stovetop. Up here, we've got a fantastic exhaust fan, which you can turn on via a flick of a button, convection microwave oven, and a big sink. Big stainless deep sink. Got the pot cleaner, accent lights built into the wall. And right over here is our Whirlpool household refrigerator. This is a nice plus to have on the coach. You can run this with your inverter. And it looks really nice sitting on some stone tile down there with this flush tile HWH slide out. Now this is a nice pantry setup with that excellent Newmar woodwork. And across the street, we've got our half bath, which being the size this coach has, this bathroom's pretty good. So this is even with the door open, and then this door swivels so it's easier to open when you have the slides closed, and then it gets out of your way pretty nicely here, making a nice sizable space. Phone bowl in here, vent out window. You got your own outlets in here so you can keep your phone charged for however long you want to stay in here. You're a fantastic fan right there. Now you've got your breakers back here and fuses. And here is our main rear suite, baby. And we've got a nice, firm, very firm bed situation for those of you out there who really like those firm mattresses. Here you go. Free of charge. Can you believe that? This is a huge option. Now, I guess I have to say, for the sake of the video, we are going to give you a new mattress. We love to serve our customers. All right, so up here we do have the third air conditioner, and this coach has 3 roof airs, so you can keep the temperature quite nice in the bus. You've got 2 mini wardrobes back here. You've got a TV there, and this is our main rear bathroom. So this huge bathroom accompanies a rectangle shower. You can step in here with ease. I'm 5'11", and these cathedral ceilings in these newer Newmars is really nice. Now, across from the shower, we do have a washer dryer stack. Look at there, so much space. They've got a gap up here. And then a dual vanity sink with outlets on both sides, and they managed to give you storage on both sides. That's a sweet setup. And then you still have a freaking wardrobe back here. This thing is awesome with space. I mean, this reminds me of the old school Monaco coaches, you know? Lots of storage. You've even got some secret storage back here, which I won't tell you where. I'll tell the new owners where that is. And right over here is a porcelain push-button macerator toilet. Again, electric shades. And you even have extra access to your main rear wardrobe via this little cabinet here. We've got outlets everywhere around the bed. And this whole interior is just timeless, all right? It's classic Newmar, very well-built cabinetry. Everywhere you look and peer is just beautiful. And yeah, this coach is awesome. All right, so the first compartment we're gonna open up here in the outside bays is our main wet bay. This is where you're going to connect to water. We've got an electric water hose reel. Everything is labeled out in classic Newmar fashion. It's just simple, straightforward, and well labeled, which is essential. Now you do have an electric reel for your 50 amp cord as well. And all of these compartments actually drop down when you open them up. So this allows them to clear that flush tile slide that drops down right above it. And it's funny because if people aren't aware of this system, they're gonna freak out a bit. But we do have extra tiles from Newmar in this coach, as well as all new batteries and brand new tires on the whole coach. This does have the optional Dometic refrigerator freezer on a slide tray, and it does come free of charge with a nice microfiber to keep it clean. And all of these bays do have the optional chromed handles, as well as the chrome pieces that go along the bottom of the coach. Now this right here is a classic pegboard, which you can make into a tool shed or whatever you want. And then we do have our def, which is dual fillable from both sides of the coach. And then we have our starting batteries here with a hard cutoff. And if you come around back, it does have obviously easy access to the engine given the side radiator setup, which is a blast. All right, we've got this 2016 Newmar Dutch 4369 out on the road. We're on a tight country road here, and the coach handles quite nicely. Even on these tight little roads, it just feels so nice. You know, the comfort drive keeps it easy to center and stuff compared to non-comfort drive coaches. It just seems to be a popular thing with a lot of people. It's not necessarily the only thing that makes a coach drive well. For sure it's not. But a lot of people love it, and I'm one of those people who does really like comfort drive. I mean, as you can see, this coach handles quite nicely, even on tight little country roads. And then the Star chassis upgrade from Newmar that 2016 on gets in these Dutch Stars is felt as well. The chassis just feels stiffer. It just says a more solid chassis. That means it's going to be less affected by undulations in the road, less affected by winds, less flexing, and all that good stuff. It's why you put a roll cage in a race car and make it more stiff, along with the safety and all that stuff too. The brakes feel terrific. This thing has a multi-stage exhaust brake, low, medium, high. I've got electric visors all around me, so I can easily block out the sun if need be. But you know, if you want a great view, the front one piece makes a great view. Now I hit my left indicator, and that pulls up the left camera. And the passive steer really makes this coach more maneuverable as well back there. Yeah, the power is very nice. 450 Cummins, 4369 Dutch Star. This thing is going to be able to haul. For anyone seriously interested in this beautiful 2016 Newmar Dutch Star 4369. You can check it out on our website at rvmax.us. Feel free to give us a call. For everyone else, thank you so much for watching, especially the longtime subscribers. And everyone who's new, please hit the subscribe button and stick around. We've got a lot of fun stuff going on here at RV Max. And peace and love to everybody out there watching. Woo! I'm going back to having fun with this Dutch Star.